What's up guys, going on? It's here, and we're back with the Golden Game Collection update for July, August, September, and October. So yeah, obviously I've been gone for a long time. I've got a lot of catching up to do with the Golden Game Collection. So, funnily enough, we don't actually have too many games that I picked up during that time period. So this shouldn't be like an unusually long episode, but yeah, I definitely missed a lot. And I can't wait to show you guys, because I've got some really good games here to show you, and a very exciting new update. But yeah, I shouldn't really talk too much more. Let's just get into it. Not wasting any time. Alright guys, let's get started here, and this is in no particular order, by the way. Just doing it by system for the time period, the whole thing. So it's not just like the games I got in July, then the ones in August. No, this is just going straight through by each system. So starting off here, we have Super Conflict for the Super Nintendo. This is a very interesting game because I haven't heard anyone really talk about it, and that's funny because whenever I buy a new system, I always get super excited and look through all the best games for the system, all the good games, just seeing what I would want to buy, have it in my head. This was on none of those videos I saw, and I don't know if it's because people don't know about this game or because they don't consider it a good game, but that's crazy to me because this is a really cool game for the Super Nintendo. This is actually a strategy game based in modern military strategy game, and it takes place with it plays on a hexagonal grid where you will there's a red and blue to army. As far as I know, they both mirror each other. They have the same units that they start with, and the goal is to take out the other army's flag tank, and that will end the battle. So the really cool part about the strategy game is because although it's turn-based, it's very similar to Advanced Wars. The difference between the two I would say main difference would be really in the mechanics of the battles, because you know how in Advanced Wars you just bring a unit up to attack another, and they'd trade strikes, trade blows, and then that would just end it, and then you'd have to wait until the next turn. But with this game, you actually have an active continuing battle system where you guys keep exchanging blows. You can choose an offensive or defensive stance for your units, and they'll keep trading blows until one of them dies or one of them retreats. So that's actually really cool. I've never seen that in any other turn-based strategy game, and that's one thing this game does that's awesome. And yeah, it's a pretty cool. I haven't played much of it. I don't think I've even played much of any of these games here, because the reason I also haven't bought too many games was because during this time period, and still now, I've been playing mostly on PC. So yeah, that's why I haven't really gotten much into these yet. But in this game, I know there are also tank units, infantry units, but also aerial units, like jets and planes and stuff, helicopters, and there are naval units like ships and submarines that come in later. So this is it looks to be a really nice, with some good mechanics, good complex strategy going on, and a very good unique battle system. So I would definitely recommend Super Conflict for anyone who has a Super Nintendo, because it's pretty cheap. This cartridge is actually really messed up. I'm hoping to get a better one soon, when it's in better condition for my collection. But it didn't come with this case to keep out dust from the port, so that's really good. But the main thing I'm really excited about with having this is because it is actually the first Super Nintendo game I've actually gotten a box for. That's right. So we got a Super Conflict box here. This guy on the front, I think is funny. I don't know. He just looks like a dork, not the typical strong American soldier. You just look at him, look at his little teeth sticking out. But on the back here, you have this also funny 90s blurb where they're hyping up the game. They underline. I don't think that's a good thing. They say the name all the time and they underline. It's like when you watch those videos with people talking and then they have a counter of how many times they say the same word. I don't really know if that's really helping to have your name everywhere in there. But it's funny if you want to read this, if you can pause it and read it, if you can see the words. But yeah, I think it's kind of funny. But how they hype it up so much, you know. But yeah, here you can see screenshots of the gameplay. Something I can't do because I can't really record all these and show them in the video. But yeah, there's some screenshots for you. That's kind of what the game looks like, the grid and then the battles. So yeah, this is a very cool game. Who are the developers of this actually? I forget. It's VIC Tokai, I guess that's the developer, but never heard of them, so that's maybe why no one has this game. But I think it's really good, and I would definitely recommend it. You don't have to go and get the box, that's just a collector thing. I would like to have a box for every Super Nintendo game I have eventually, but yeah, good game. Alright guys, next up here we have Illusion of Gaia for the Super Nintendo. So this is a much more well-known game than Super Conflict. This is an action RPG for the Super Nintendo. Very rare genre game during that time, and it's highly regarded as a pretty good game. And I've played some of it, not too much. I actually played a little more of it like over the weekend. And one of the main things I have to say about this game right now, the dialogue in it is terribly off to me. It just seems wrong. Like a lot of the things people say is it's kind of weird. And if you're one of my friends and you've seen my Facebook post, that was from this game. That was an actual piece of dialogue from this game. It was hilarious when I saw it. But there are many more like that too. And I don't think they did it I didn't think that's an intentional thing. I think that's probably a translation from Japanese to English. Some things got mixed up and they had to like fill in the blanks and make up their own dialogue. It's not that great in English. But aside from that, this game is pretty cool. You play as a kid, he's got psychic powers, and he goes on a quest to find his dad, I believe, and he ends up in prison of a castle, and then he like breaks out with his psychic powers or whatever. His grandma helps him somehow, and he then like, yeah, and then like the gameplay of the combat, you just like press the buttons and fight, you know, an action RPG hack and slash style. But then later on, you actually get sucked into a portal to go to Gaia, and you actually are given the power to transform into Freedom, and he's like this like knight guy who's really big, and like you know, like you play as just a kid, but you don't play as a kid the whole adventure. You actually power up and become like this man guy, and so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's an alright game. It's pretty fun. I'm definitely gonna continue playing it and read the much more funny dialogue to come. But I would recommend it as of now. It's decent. The combat works fine. I haven't really had any issues with it. And yeah, thumbs up at the moment. Alright, next up here guys for the Nintendo DS is The World Ends With You. Very unique game. I actually found out about this from watching a video, a review of it, I believe, on Jamie Wetzel's channel. I don't know if you've heard of him, but I actually found out about this game from watching her video on it, and it interested me, it intrigued me, and so I bought it when I saw it in the store, and I played it once. It's not a bad game by any means, but I played it once, and it's just kind of, you know, it's one of those weird games, one of those more unique ones. Let's see if I can show you here, if it has a picture on the back. Yeah, they've got this really unique battle style in the game, where you have, use both screens. The top screen you press like some button inputs to deal with the enemies, and the bottom screen you have to also be using your stylus to do attacks at the same time. And so it's really tricky. With the one time I played it, I'm a noob, I suck at it. It wasn't that fun starting out because it's so different, a very unique battle system. I've said unique a lot of times, but you know what I mean. It's kind of complicated, or like, yeah, it's kind of tough to get into. So the actual plot of this game is you're like some teenage guy walking around the city, and then you get sucked into this game where these like evil guys are like making you do stuff, and if you don't do it, you die. So yeah, blackmail. That's not nice. But then you also meet all these other characters, and they become your partners along the way. They'll fight on the top screen, you fight on the bottom screen with the stylus, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. I feel like it's not a bad game. It's probably a good game. I don't know if I'd recommend it because of how hard it is to get into. So look up some gameplay for yourself and like see if you might want it. That's my version right now. Alright, next up here is a game that a lot of other game collectors might recognize, and that is Dragon's Crown for the PS3. So this is a very cool game. You know how like there are a lot of like, you know, beat 'em up style games where you just go around and beat up guys and go through a level just like beating up people on like the Super Nintendo Genesis, that kind of era. After that, when games transitioned in 3D, there weren't many of those around anymore. But for the back on the PS3, Dragon's Crown was made. This is a 2D beat 'em up game with a very unique art style, as you can see. There's like some very weird stuff with it that I don't really want to talk about, but like you can look it up and see for yourself. But the like a unique art style is a plus for this game, in my opinion. Not like a lot of games don't really have their own style, and this is one that definitely stands out. And that's a good thing. But like I said, this is a modern beat 'em up game, so it actually incorporates some RPG elements. Where it's kind of D&D styled, I think, from what I've played. And you like buy equipment for your character, level up and unlock new skills, combos. Really cool. And I've only played this once, one time, and that was with my dad. Actually, we played it co-op, and this supports up to four player local co-op, so that's really good. This is definitely a good game to play when you have friends over, and you want to play through a beat 'em up like in the old days, but new. So yeah, Dragon's Crown, it's pretty good in my opinion. I'd recommend it from what I've played. Like I said, I only played it one time, not that much to get a full view on it, but definitely decent. Whoa, where are we now? Yeah, that's right, guys, we're in my room, and that is because I'm going to show you something I recently picked up from my collection last month, I believe, and I'm really excited about it, and that would be the original Xbox. It's really dark there. Wow, why isn't it focusing? That is the original Xbox, though, as you can probably sort of see. So yeah, guys, a new console. That's also another reason why I didn't get as many pickups over this whole 4-month period as you would probably expect, because I had to spend a lot on that. But I do have a whole stack of original Xbox games that I am going to show you now. So let's start off here with the Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay. And collectors know this is an excellent game on the original Xbox. Despite being based off a movie, it's actually one of the best shooters on the game, on the console. And it's also one of the original online games with the Xbox Live. And it's really cool. I've only played a little bit of it. It's got like a whole bunch of different mechanics going on, but I have to say at the moment I recommend it. The graphics are definitely good. I gotta say the graphics are like almost like 360 quality, like early 360, but they're really up there. So this is definitely a well-made game. Check out other reviews, other gameplay, some other gameplay videos. See if you would enjoy it. At the moment, I definitely say it looks good. Next up, we have Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. Some of you may be like, whoa, what? That looks like a random crap game, like generic FPS. Why would you get that? Well, the reason I got it was because obviously it was so cheap, just $3, and also because somewhere I mean, just because it was cheap mostly. But the reason I picked it out specifically was because I actually read like on some forum that someone said it was better than Halo. So I'm gonna check that out. Haven't really played. I wouldn't say I played it at all really. I just kind of tested it out to make sure the game just worked. But someone said it's better than Halo. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm not gonna give any verdicts on this at all because I really haven't played enough. But maybe it's better than Halo. Who knows? Next up is Marvel Ultimate Alliance. This is a great, like I wouldn't say great, but it's a decent game. It's a very mediocre kind of game actually. But weird, I just like started off really high there, and then I was like, no wait, let's tone this down a bit. It's not that good. But yeah, I like, there's a lot of people say this is one of the really good games for like the generation, I guess. A really good game for the time. But I'd say I'm still judging it by like my standards today, but it's only decent for that. This game is like one of those hack and slash games, kind of like Diablo. It plays like that, but you've got all the Marvel characters, X-Men included, and they with like Wolverine here. But you go around. Thor looks really weird. He looks kind of different to me. I don't know. I just noticed that. But yeah, you go around with the characters through these different scenarios that are like settings from the different comics, movies, and stuff. And I think this game is actually based on the characters' comics, because you go through a lot of their like plot lines from those. And yeah, of course you got a whole bunch of villains to fight through from all the different characters. And however, you don't get to play as like nearly every single Marvel character. This does have like a lot of RPG elements with like skills and stuff. So you only have like I believe there's 20 characters that you can play as. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it was something with a 2 in it. Maybe it was 12. Maybe it was 20. I think it was 20 though. So you don't play as every Marvel character, but you've got a pretty significant roster. And however, most of them, with trying to include all this Marvel stuff, I feel like they could missed out, because most of the characters you pick from are the main ones. You don't get as many of the obscure ones that you can pick from. You can play as Deadpool in this, which is kind of cool, but he's the only real one in the like playable roster that's kind of more obscure. And of course he isn't now because of his movie, but yeah. So yeah, you get like it's not really that much of a complex game. It's more just like simple sit down. It's got co-op, so play with a friend and like just go beat up everything in your way. It's more like a beat 'em up, really, because like that's kind of what hack and slash games are. You just go around beat up stuff, but they have RPG elements. So I guess you'd say Dungeon or Dragon's Crown is more of a hack and slash, but not really. That one does feel more like a beat 'em up. But that's kind of a tangent. So well, I'll just say this game is okay. Get it if you want. It's not a bad pickup for your collection, but make sure it's cheap. I picked it up for $9, but I actually got this free because I bought it. I got it for free with the console. They gave me a free game under $10 with the purchase. So I just picked up this one because it was co-op. Alright guys, here we have Ninja Gaiden, probably my favorite pickup for the original Xbox, the favorite game I have in my collection right now. This was an Xbox exclusive, and this game is really cool. I know there were like Ninja Gaiden games on the NES, maybe on the Super Nintendo, but I haven't played any of those, but they're held in really high regard as really good games for the system, and this game is no different for me because it's probably my favorite game, like I said, out of my whole original Xbox collection. And that's saying a lot because a lot of the games I have picked up have been are like said to be some of the really best games for the system, but this is my favorite at the moment. It's an action game, third person. You go around beating up enemies with different combos and stuff. So it's like an action adventure. You gotta like look around. There's some mild puzzles, and you can find different items, different equipment. There's like magic you can get. I haven't figured out how to use it. I know I got like a magic scroll, but I haven't figured out how to actually use it. I've pressed like every button on the controller and it did nothing. But yeah, there's like open levels, very open levels. You can go around and explore them and all that. And the game is known for its ridiculous difficulty. The very first boss of the game isn't actually that hard to beat, but it took me a long time to figure out how to beat it. Once you figure out how to beat him, the first boss is really, really easy. But this game will kick your butt at the start, and even some of the normal basic enemy grunt ninjas that you have to fight through, they're really tough. So yeah, good AI, I guess, or maybe just like biased programming. But so yeah, this game is really awesome. Like just like the ninja stuff, I guess, is what I really like about it because you do all these cool moves. But yeah, definitely recommend. Alright, next up after that awesome Ninja Gaiden is another great game. Platinum Hits Edition of Oddworld, Munch's Oddysee. So, the Oddworld series, if you don't know, started off on the PlayStation 1, and it had like 2 games in the series then, Abe's Odyssey and Abe's Exodus. And those were cinematic platformer games. If you don't know what that kind of subgenre is, it's 2D platformers that have much more of a slow pace. They are more focused on story, art, and like, you know, just sending a message, I guess. And they don't focus at all really on the action. They're more puzzle solving, slow pace, take your time. It's like a thinking man's platform, I guess, would be a description. So this game, however, is more of a typical 3D platformer. It's still got a lot of puzzles in it. But then again, most 3D platformers of the time, I guess, really, and now, still have like a lot of puzzles. to go through. Mario doesn't really have puzzles, but like kind of like the Legend of Zelda. Like not this game isn't really like the Legend of Zelda at all. I'm saying, but like the 3D games, you just go around. The way puzzles are kind of like in the world, I guess, kind of like how this is. But the way you play the game is you actually manage these other people, like creatures of your species, and you get them to follow you, and you make them do tasks by ordering what to do. And that's kind of how you play. It's kind of hard to explain because there's like actually a really deep story that kind of like comes from the first two games that kind of goes into this, and they actually have like a backstory cutscene that you can watch to get the whole backstory. And I would probably recommend watching that before you start playing this game, because Abe is actually a character returning from those. That's him right here. This is Abe. This is Munch. I haven't got to any of the levels with Munch yet. I just started playing, and I got like the first level done almost. But yeah, it's a pretty cool game. It does seem a lot different from the first two, but it seems alright right now, and a lot of people say it's good. So I'm taking their word for it. You can go check out other things, gameplay, reviews, and see if it's right for you. Alright guys, and last up here is my Platinum Hits edition of the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. This is the last game that I picked up that I'm showing for the time period, and as you can see, this game actually, they actually gave me a $10 gift card with it at the store, because I was having a lot of problems with it. They had to give me a whole different copy, and I actually got another free game. I don't remember which game. I think I got a Ninja Gaiden for free, and they also gave me this because of all the trouble I went through. So thank you. Again, shout out to the guys at Level Up. If you live near any of their stores, support them, buy from them. If you'll enjoy games, they have all the different like consoles, really, nearly everything, not the more obscure ones, but like Sega stuff, Nintendo stuff, Sony stuff, Xbox stuff. They have like everything there. They don't have every game, but like you can find a lot of the stuff you'd want. So support them, but because they supported me. But yeah, this is Morrowind. It's a lot like Oblivion and Skyrim. Obviously a lot older, a lot more primitive, but it's pretty cool. I played a little bit of it, the first couple quests, some of the ones in like the first town you go to, and I had a good time. It does seem very similar to, like I said, Oblivion and Skyrim. There's probably a lot of differences I don't know about because I haven't played as much of it yet, but it's safe to say if you enjoy those and you want to go back and see the Elder Scrolls at its roots. This is like, I believe the other two games of this series weren't exactly like the same style. They were more like, because they were 2D, they didn't have polygons in those, I think. So this was like the first one that kind of opened it into the way it's known today. So yeah, if you want to check it out, get this. Or actually on the original Xbox, this is actually an original Xbox exclusive game. It didn't come out on any other console. It came out on the PC, but only came out on the Xbox as a console. And so actually, I should show you. I just remembered. Hey, this came completely complete, and by that I mean it has a manual in it, and it has the map it came with back when it like would have launched. It had a map with it, so that's really sweet. I'm gonna hang that up as like a poster later, if I can fit these. Never mind, I'll do that later. But yeah, so this version is actually the normal version. Well, the Platinum Hits version. But there's actually another version of Morrowind on the Xbox. That's the Game of the Year edition, and it contains all the DLC that you could download on the PC version. So yeah, pick that up. That's the one I recommend more. It might cost you a little bit more, but it's definitely worth it more to get the Game of the Year edition. I'm gonna have both editions because I'm a collector. But yeah. So yeah, it will come with all the DLC from the PC version, so recommend that one if you're interested in spending a little more to get this game for the Xbox. But yeah guys, that's it for this Golden Game Collection video. I will have more gameplay coming soon after this. I wanted to get the Star Wars Conquest in first before I updated the collection, because obviously it's been a long time since I did any gameplay, so I wanted to, bring that back a little bit, show you guys that it is coming back, and something a little more exciting, I guess. But yeah, and I'm also definitely hoping to get some footage with my clan leader, well, regiment, I guess you'd say. But like, you know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the clan, you know, like a gaming clan was more what it's like. But it's a regiment for Napoleonic Wars. I'm trying to get some footage of that gameplay because it's really fun and really cool, and I want to like show that. But I don't know if my computer can handle like all the different things going on at once. So I'm going to try to record that for you guys. But until then, I'll keep up with like the normal gameplay. Undertale will be the next gameplay video I'll come up with, and you know, and then it'll go back into the cycle. And I think what I'm actually going to do, I came out with a plan. I might continue my native series. I think I'm going to do that after Star Wars Conquest. So every time Mountain Blade comes up the rotation, it would be Star Wars Conquest, like where we just did, then native, back with that series, then back to Star Wars Conquest, then back to native every time it comes back up. So that's probably how we're going to do it. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the video. If you like the video, give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. Comment if you have any suggestions. Peace out, and be supreme.